You ask the next question, please.
Mr. Hughes, you will have 3 minutes to answer this question. Mr. Hughes, in school we are taught that group work is very important. Cooperation, consultation, sharing of ideas, the recognition of each member's importance, and the acknowledgement of leadership. What failings in group dynamics did your government have that caused it to collapse in 1999? In school, we are taught that group work is very important. Cooperation, consultation, sharing of ideas, the recognition of each member's importance, and the acknowledgement of leadership. What failings in group dynamics did your government have that caused it to collapse in 1999?
I think that in the small context of our education system and our society, I think the parents, teachers, and students should all work together. We have a situation where some parents actually are hostile to the teacher. Excuse me, my voice being overstrained. Some parents are actually hostile to teachers when teachers try to discipline the parent, the child. I would like to see the counseling and guiding element in the school strengthened. One of the areas I think we fall down, and that children are not grouping, the students are not grouping their subjects properly in the advanced forms in the school. If a child wants to go on to tertiary education, in 5th and 6th forms especially, the counseling and guiding department should actually assist the student to group their subjects properly. So if you're studying law, your subjects that you take will be associated with the law faculty. If you're studying medicine, the subjects should be oriented where you do medical subjects leading to medicine, like biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics. And that's what I believe we fall down in our schools. Because when I look at the way some of our sixth form students group their subjects, this creates great difficulty for them, especially in first year at university. My voice, as you can see, is breaking up.
Perhaps you can take a little of the water. We recognize that you are having some issues with your voice, and I'm wondering if you are hearing our questions clearly. Are we clear enough in the questions?
I would have much preferred if you had given us those questions in writing.
Okay, I understand that, but sometimes that kind of defeats the purpose. But with respect to the question that was just asked, I think you deliberated on issues relating to the school. But what is of importance in the question is that the question sought to find out what failings in group dynamics did your government have that caused it to collapse in 1999? I think we would like for you to address that portion with respect to what happened with the government, the failing of the government in 1999, with regard to the issues of cooperation, consultation, sharing of ideas, and so on.
You mean the government collapse?
Right.
The collapse of the government in 1999?
A reference was made to things that students are taught in school with regard to teamwork. And what the question is seeking to address is what were some of the failings in your government that caused it to collapse in 1999. So I'd like if you could address that part of the question.
Yes,
please.
well, quite obviously, my government collapsed in 1999 because there was no teamwork. Because the coalition, the leader of the coalition, because I had a coalition government, which is the most difficult government to run in any country. If you note that in Italy, for instance, they've had as many as 50 governments since the last war, in 50 years, all because they're all coalition governments. And that was the dilemma of the government that I headed from 1994 to 1999. My coalition partner would always remind me that he owns half of the government and I only own half of the government. But that it was impossible for a government like that to achieve maximum benefits to the community or to itself. So this question of cooperation is extremely important in any institution. If you don't have that cooperation, that working together, that mutual trust, then obviously you're not going to maximize the effectiveness of the process.
Okay. Given that experience in 1999 then, what would you do differently if your grouping was to form the next government?
I would hope that if I form another government, I would be given a mandate from the people clearly to form that government. Because my concept and my training and my understanding about being a colonial territory is to establish a nationalist approach to our constitutional and economic situation. We are not going to do it in a party political system. We have to be nationalistic. We have to work together because party politics is divisive. Anguilla made the biggest blunder when it went into party politics. So what I want right now as Anguilla United Movement is for the people to give me a mandate to prove to them that national approach to government will yield the greatest benefits to the people as a whole.
Thank you, Mr. Hughes.